everybody, welcome back to the Outpost. Today is an exciting day because I get to introduce you guys to the all-new BR4. The BR4 is something we have been working on for many years, and until we came out with the DISSENT uppers, we really couldn't bring the rest of it to fruition. So this is an exciting day because, like I said, this is something we've been working on for a while, and we can now bring it to you guys. So what the BR4 is a new rifle that we really kind of designed to be a rifle that can go behind enemy lines of restrictive states. It has a couple extra perks, like it's going to work well for a hunting rifle, ranch rifle, that type of rifle. But our goal was to get this in more hands of people that have restrictions in their states where they can't normally get a standard AR. So just taking a look at it, this is going to fall in the DISSENT lineup. So this has a complete DISSENT upper on it. But as you see, there's a little bit of a different lower here. Not what you would typically see in a standard AR platform. So let's just go ahead and look at it. We're gonna go from the muzzle end to the butt, and then we are going to go through all the features on it. And the reason I'm starting up here is because it's starting off with a DISSENT. You guys should be familiar with that by now, but we're gonna finish off with this new stock and everything. At the time of release, the BR4 is gonna come in 16-inch varieties, like you see here in my hand. And it's gonna come in 7 different calibers and 7 different Cerakotes. So the 7 different calibers are gonna be 5.56, 300 Blackout, 350 Legend, 22 ARC, 6mm ARC, 6.5 Grendel, and 9mm using our conversion magazines. Now when it comes to the length, you're gonna see 16-inch varieties in all of those, and they're gonna come with the zeroed muzzle device on them. So when it comes to the 5.56 and 300 Blackout varieties, we are also gonna offer them in the 14.5-inch varieties that come with the pinned and welded muzzle brake that you can use with our DEFCAN suppressors. Moving on from the muzzle, you're gonna see the traditional DISSENT handguard that you're used to seeing on these. So this is a little bit taller. In that DISSENT handguard, you do see that it does have the front side charger. On the DI versions for now, you're gonna see it is gonna be a left side charger. If you want it to be a right side charger, you do have to buy a different charging handle for it. Now, when it comes to the 9mm, since it is radial delay blowback compact action, that one is gonna be reversible. So for the time being, direct impingement, you do have to buy a different one if you do want it to be on the right-hand side. Gas blocks are gonna be adjustable gas blocks on, I believe, most every one of these. Different gas link systems depending on the caliber. Moving on back, you're gonna see the traditional upper receiver for the DISSENT. So inside the upper receiver is gonna be our patented compact action, which allows us to not need a buffer and buffer tube on the back, which means we can now do something like the BR4 here. This allows us to use a traditional stock on the back. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at what's different here, and that is the BR4 lower. The BR4 lower is a newer, longer version of essentially our Mark IV lower. So the Mark IV was a traditional mil-spec lower that took a lot of different calibers, like I just listed. Well, the BR4 takes those same magazines, takes those same calibers, but introduces an 870 style buttstock that you can put on it. So on this one, we are using a Magpul SGA buttstock. Like I said, this is Remington 870 compatible. It is gonna ship with this stock, but for those of you that like Remington 870s, there are a ton of different varieties that you can use to customize it if you so choose. Now, taking a little bit more of a look right here on the trigger area, you can see that the trigger has been moved back some. That is made possible by our new trigger that we designed yet again in cooperation with Rise Armament. So the trigger pack itself is going to be very similar to the zero drop-in trigger that you've seen on all of our 2024 lineup, but it has new linkage and everything that brings it a little more rearward so that it's going to be very comfortable for you to access while gripping this new style grip. And let me tell you, I have been a huge fan of our new zero drop-in trigger, and I wasn't too sure of what I was going to think on this trigger, but I'll tell you what, it is very pleasant and very surprising on how well this shoots. It just really wants to run. Above the trigger here, you're gonna see that we do have a crossbolt safety. So if you are right-handed, when you have this up, simply by pressing right here, you're gonna disengage the safety. Re-engaging the safety is on the other side. You just re-engage it by pressing on it with your thumb. Now that safety is reversible. So there's a set screw in the top of the receiver you can take out, remove that safety, flip it around for people that want to engage it. If you're left-handed, however it might be. Flipping it on over to the left side here, you are gonna see that we do have zeroed accessories on it. So we do have the bolt catch and mag release. We do have a zeroed magazine release on the right side also. But one of the things you're gonna notice, unless you have really long fingers, when you go to drop that magazine, that's not gonna be something that you're gonna be able to easily access. So by flipping it over to the other side, you can easily take and just operate these with your thumb when you go to drop your magazine. All of these calibers are gonna ship with 2 10-round magazines. Yes, I know people are gonna frown on the fact that it's a 10 round, but that is one of the ways that we're able to get this into more restricted states. This particular version is a 5.56. Like I said, it takes standard 5.56 magazines. So these are gonna be a little harder to come by for most people. And for those of you that want, this is gonna be a great magazine for going out and hunting. But I'm sure you probably have plenty of 30-round magazines sitting around. They're also gonna work in this just fine. When it comes to operation, it is insert just like you normally would. On the Dissent, you're gonna be able to take and rack it and let it go. Now taking a quick look at the stock, you're gonna see this is the Magpul SGA stock. We went ahead and included a higher cheek riser on this that you normally wouldn't see installed on this. The reason being, the ergonomics are gonna be quite a bit different on this than a standard AR. Standard AR, typically your grip's way down here, your tube's coming out. The cheek weld and everything is a little bit different. So due to the ergonomics here, we highly recommend that when you're running optics, you typically try to run it as low as possible. Because when you get on here, you're gonna have a different type of cheek weld, and you want to get as low as possible on the front or on the receiver set itself. So just be mindful when you are taking a look at this, you are gonna want something that is gonna sit pretty low on here. But we did go ahead and raise up the cheek weld for you to make it fit a little bit better. Also from us, you're gonna see that it's gonna ship with some of the extenders on the buttstock. So this is gonna allow for a little bit longer length of pull, a little bit more of a comfortable rifle. So that is a really quick look at the BR4, but I'll tell you what, let's take a quick look at how it shoots, because I was very pleasantly surprised. All right guys, thanks for joining us today. This was just a real quick look at the BR4. Remember, this is a platform that we designed primarily for people behind the enemy lines of restrictive states. But there are gonna be plenty of you that can really enjoy this too. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect when I first shot it, but it wasn't this. This thing just really wants to run, like I said. So check yours out at your local dealer or go to CMMG.com for more information or to pick one up there. So guys, as always, stay safe out there.